what if your memories lied to you? Not just once, but over and over, convincing you of a world that never existed. And what if millions of others remembered it the same way? Today on MythosEdge, we're diving into one of the strangest cognitive mysteries of our time, the Mandela Effect. Is it a psychological illusion, or something far more profound? In 2009, paranormal researcher Fiona Broom realized she vividly remembered Nelson Mandela dying in a South African prison in the 1980s. To her shock, many others did too. But Mandela was released in 1990. He lived until 2013. This wasn't just a simple mix-up. This was shared false memory, something millions recalled, but that never happened. And so the term Mandela Effect was born. But what is this effect? A psychological error? A glitch in the simulation? Or echoes from a parallel timeline bleeding into our own? Let's explore. Our memories feel real, but they are anything but accurate. Neuroscience tells us that memory is reconstructive, not reproductive. Each time you remember something, your brain is actively rebuilding it, filling in gaps, smoothing edges, and sometimes rewriting details. Imagine your childhood bedroom. Are you picturing it now? Are you sure every detail, every poster, every toy is right? Or is your brain fusing fragments of multiple rooms, years, and feelings into a single imagined space? This is how false memories form, not out of deception, but from the brain doing what it's designed to do, simplify and synthesize information for survival, not perfect accuracy. One key process behind the Mandela Effect is confabulation, when your brain fills in missing memory with plausible but false details. This isn't lying. It's more like unconscious storytelling. Add in semantic memory, our general knowledge about the world, and you get powerful memory illusions. The Monopoly Man. People remember him with a monocle, but he never had one. So why do we see it so clearly? Because we associate monocles with rich, old-fashioned aristocrats. Our brains create a composite image that feels true. This is where schemas, our mental frameworks, come in. They influence not only what we remember, but what we expect to remember. In 2001, psychologists conducted a study where participants were shown doctored images of themselves at a theme park, photos that never actually existed. Yet after repeated exposure, many began to recall elaborate emotional memories of that event. This is memory implantation, and it's disturbingly easy to trigger. Now think about how the internet functions. Reddit threads, TikToks, shared memes. Repeated exposure to a Mandela Effect claim, especially with visual edits, can implant a shared yet fabricated memory in millions. And the effect becomes stronger the more we talk about it. This is called social contagion of memory. Let's break down a few classic examples with deeper analysis. Berenstain versus Berenstein bears. The suffix "stein" is more common and fits our linguistic expectations. Our brains prefer what feels familiar, even over factual reality. Shazaam with Sinbad. Sinbad often wore genie-like costumes in public appearances. Combine that with the actual 1996 film Shazaam starring Shaq, and the result is a fully formed, culturally reinforced false movie. Looney Tunes versus Looney Tunes. Tunes makes intuitive sense, but the actual name is Tunes, a nod to musical shorts. The logical name overrides the factual one. These aren't just flukes. They're cognitive illusions amplified by linguistic familiarity, cultural exposure, and semantic association. For some, these shared false memories hint at something bigger, alternate realities. According to this theory, the Mandela Effect is evidence we've shifted timelines, consciousness jumping between slightly different versions of Earth. One where Mandela died in prison, one where Pikachu's tail had black, one where Fabrizi had 2 E's. Intriguing? Absolutely. But is it testable? Not yet. The multiverse theory is fun science fiction. But until we have empirical methods to detect interdimensional drift, it remains in the realm of speculation. Still, this idea taps into something ancient. The myth of the split world, of hidden doors, of reality being thinner than we think. And maybe that's the point. The Mandela Effect is more than a psychological glitch. It's a reflection of our time. In oral cultures, myths evolved through repetition and retelling. In the digital age, false memories evolved through memes, viral videos, and collective storytelling. The Mandela Effect is modern folklore, digital mythology shaped by our minds, reinforced by our culture, and spread by our screens. It's a mirror showing how easily our trust in reality can fracture, and how desperately we cling to patterns that feel true even when they're not. So what is the Mandela Effect? A trick of memory? A failure of collective cognition? Or the ghost of another timeline echoing in our heads? What it truly reveals is this: our minds are not made for perfect recall, they're made for meaning. And sometimes, meaning overrides memory. Question not just what we remember, but why we remember it that way. And in that questioning, we begin to understand how myth and memory intertwine to create the very fabric of our reality. If you found this exploration into the mind and myth intriguing, subscribe to MythosEdge. Comment below with your favorite Mandela Effect and your theory on what's really going on. And remember, not everything you remember is real, but that doesn't mean it's not true. Until next time, keep questioning the world around you.